Okay, so last year when Kia announced that they had the Ute coming to Australia and they did that huge big advertising campaign, we got caught up in it and did a handful of videos relating to different aspects of the launch itself and what we're expecting. At the end of last year, the model itself was released in terms of the visuals and some of the specifications, and we were thrilled with what we saw because it all seemed really average. The design is not terribly aesthetic and it certainly won't blow your mind when you see it. In fact, when you look at it, you possibly won't be that impressed with how unimaginative the design is. In addition to that, from a technological perspective, it's not all that advanced, although incredibly well featured and whatnot. Performance-wise, it's not necessarily any better or worse than the market leaders. And all in all, it's probably a 6.5 out of 10 in terms of impact. Not to necessarily say it's a 6.5 out of 10 car, but the impact that we're looking to have with the release. Now, this is kind of in line with what we were expecting, in the sense that there wasn't a lot to be gained by coming in elite, you know, for your first iteration, because there's so much skepticism and it's extremely difficult to offset market leaders that have been established for so long. So it would have been really high risk to go in really heavy with that first impact release. So the fact that it came out and was largely unspectacular was actually really exciting to see, because it seems like they're just going to work their way into the market and almost treat the first couple of iterations possibly as, you know, feedback vessels, if such a thing kind of exists. But we're still fascinated to see how it plays out from a market share perspective, and also the general response from buyers after they've had one of these vehicles for a few months. Now, we believe they get released mid-2025, which could be probably any time between March and September really. But either way, the first sneak peek of what they look like was underwhelming, and we're really excited about that. Keep an eye on our social media channels for more marketing tips and observations.